Thank you for joining us at the Little Listeners Library. I'm Amelia, and I'm going to read a brilliant book called The Biggest Story, all about a big story by Sarah Coyle and Dan Taylor. So, are you ready to listen? Okay, let's go. Errol's mum told the best stories. They were always fun and exciting. So one afternoon, when there was nothing to do, Errol knew a story was just what he needed. Unfortunately, there was a plumbing problem. "Sorry, Errol," said his mum. "This pipe won't fix itself. Why don't you think up a story instead?" Errol blinked, surprised. Then he shook his head. "I can't tell a story. I don't know how." "Bet you can," said his mum. "Just have a go." Out in the garden, Errol tried hard to think of a story. But star jumps didn't shake any ideas out. And staying upside down for a full minute only made his ears hurt. He was so busy thinking, he didn't notice the ants until... "Psst," said the biggest ant. "We couldn't help overhearing that you're telling a story. Will it have ants in it?" Wow. Sure," said Errol. He'd never met a talking ant before. Perhaps other animals could talk. "Ahem," said a low voice. A tabby cat was tapping Errol's foot. "You know," she said, "the best stories have cats in them." With an awful kerfuffle, all the neighbourhood cats bobbed up onto the fence. Each cat sat at a polite distance from others. Cats like a bit of space. "So, what do you say?" asked a tortoiseshell cat. "Any room for cats in your story?" Ants and cats? Errol's story was getting better already. Errol looked round the garden. "What else does my story need?" "Stunts!" shouted a sheep, clipping the gate as she jumped into the garden. Showering splinters, a long line of sheep hopped after her. "You need action, excitement, paragliding. Sheep do all that stuff." "Done," Errol grinned. He had everything he needed to start his story. But just then, the ground trembled and shook. A mob of meerkats burst through the fence. Elephants, lizards, pandas, monkeys, and even a sleek leopard followed. "So," the leopard looked excited, "word in the wildlife park is you're telling a story. Good news. We're in." Errol gave a low whistle. To fit everyone in, this story would have to be big. "Okay," he said, "but that's definitely it. There's no room for anyone else. Not even..." "Dinosaurs!" shouted the sheep. A stegosaurus and a gigantic T-Rex stood beaming as they sank slowly into the lawn. A new story is always worth travelling through time and space for, the T-Rex explained. "Course, we were in the very first stories," said the Stegosaurus smugly. "Hope this one is as good." The audience fell silent, waiting for the story to begin. Errol gulped. Gulp. He felt as though he had eaten too much pizza. And the pizza was made of bees. Would his story be any good? "I've got my tea." Errol's mum sat down, but didn't seem to notice that her chair was covered in monkeys. "I'm all ready for your story." Errol grinned at her. Then he took a deep breath and began. "The biggest story." "Oh no! T-Rex is in trouble. She's stuck in the middle of a fiery volcano. Eee! Those tricksy cats have trapped her. You'll never escape. Dino breath. Mwahaha. Catapults ready, said the cat. But here come T-Rex's friends. Hooray! We're coming, T-Rex, they said. Wait, hot lava. Poor T-Rex. Not even her friends can help her now. Bye-bye, boat. Pop, sizzle, sizzle, as the boat sank into the lava. Is this the end for T-Rex? Extinction time. Hold up, you pesky felines. Wait, is it? No, it can't be. It is. It's the superhero sheep, golden glider, skyrocket, silver arrow, pow, whoosh. My heroes, said T-Rex. Foiled again, said the cats. Bad luck, said the sheep. T-Rex is saved. Woohoo! Yay! The end, said Errol. Seconds stretched. Then the audience went wild. Animals cheered, roared and stomped. Dinosaurs danced, ants somersaulted, cats purred louder than lawnmowers, and sheep ping-ponged across the lawn. Errol's mum pulled him into a huge hug. That was the best and the biggest story I've ever heard, she cried. Much better than any of mine. Tired but happy, Errol went upstairs for his bath. He felt very proud. He had told his own story, and his head was full of ideas for more. A little later, Errol's boat was sailing past bubbled mountains when he heard a tiny tap, tap, tapping. A small owl stuck her head through the open window. Did I miss the story? Yep, said Errol, crossing the dangerous bathwater deeps. The boat began to rock. But I'll tell you another. It starts on a stormy sea. The end. I think this is a really brilliant book. I love how Errol uses his imagination to make his fun story, including the funny characters like the tricksy cats and the superhero sheep, and setting the story in an interesting place like a fiery volcano. I wonder if you can make up your own story. This book has some special pages at the back to help you make up your own exciting stories by choosing different options from some lists. You could do this at home too. You can choose different characters, people or animals, to be in your story, different special objects like a magic wand or toy or spaceship, and different places where your stories can be. For example, a museum or a desert island or even the bottom of the ocean. You can ask a grown-up to help you draw your story or write it down to help you. Grown-ups, you could even give some example choices to help the child make up their story. It can be fun to make some special story dice with different choices on the dice to help you choose your story parts. One dice could have different characters on, another could have different objects, and another could have different places. You can roll each dice and then make up a story from each fun option. I'd love to hear what you come up with. Thank you for listening to the Little Listeners Library, and I hope you come back soon.